peeps, it's your girl Nigel. Welcome back to my channel. We are at the end of 2024. This is the last vlog you will get from your girl for this year. And honestly, 2024 has been great. I did over 100 plus vlogs this year. I can't even count the number of shorts I did. This year has been a year of evolving, a year of change, a year of growth for me. And one of the reasons why we're going to talk about today is it's going to be my last year in my 30s. Your girl's saying goodbye to her 30s because in a couple of days after this vlog goes out, it's going to be my birthday. For those of you who are new, my birthday is on January 1st, New Year's Day. I am a New Year's baby. So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that I feel like would help me out, but also I feel like would also help people who are following behind me age-wise. So these are the 7 lessons that I wish I knew or that I've learned from being in my 30s. Again, so if you know anybody who's in their 20s about to be in their 30s or 30s right now and just they need some guidance, send them this vlog. Go ahead and just thumbs up it and share it to them. So let's dive right in and let's get talking. So one thing I can say is, my ladies, your 30s is a year, is supposed to be a defining year, a defining decade. Your 30s is when the light bulb switch hits and everything becoming who you are as a woman. Because when you're in your 20s, I feel like you're still kind of influenced by certain things. You're swayed mentally by certain things. But 30, a light bulb hits. I guarantee you, a light bulb hits when you enter 30 that makes you look at yourself differently, your circle differently, your life goes differently. And if you're not a mom yet or in your career, you start wanting to go for those things. And it's when you're supposed to be the woman you want to be. Not who your parents or your friends want you to be. It's who you want to be in your 30s. So it's a time of you to thrive in every aspect of your life. Thrive mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, career, whatever area in your life you want to thrive in. That's when you, that's your make it or break it year. For me, that's what I say. But of course, other things can happen. But their 30s is when I feel like you are just more of who you are. So you are more focused and you're not as easily persuaded to focus on your goals. This is a year when, that's because I'm going to keep on going. But tip number 1 of what I learned in my 30s is that you need to break unhealthy habits. Whatever unhealthy habits that you had in your 20s, try to break them in your 30s, whether it's eating unhealthy, whether it's emotional, like the way you act emotionally, whether it's spending, any unhealthy habit you have. Your 30s is when I feel like you need to try to break them, because whatever happens in your 30s, I feel like can set off triggers of what happens in the future as far as health wise, financial wise. This is a pivotal year, a pivotal decade for you. So try to break any unhealthy habits that you have in your 30s. Tip number 2, which is why you have to pay attention and break unhealthy habits, because you got to pay attention to your body. The way God orchestrated our bodies tell us when something's about to happen. Our bodies tell us when something's wrong. A lot of times we ignore it. We don't recognize the signs and symptoms. Like, when you're about to break down mentally before it happens, because you're going to start seeing little triggers. You're about to walk down an unhealthy road before it happened, but we ignore the signs and symptoms. So you have to pay attention to your body, and whatever it is, signs and warnings that it's giving you, pay attention to it, because more than likely, it's letting you know that something has. So eating better, doing better. Like I said, not just physically, doing better mentally, doing better emotionally. If you need to go through therapy, pay attention to what your body needs. If you need to get God back in your life, finding yourself to church, pay attention to your body, because your spirit what tells your body what it needs to as well. So spiritually, you might need to change some things about your life as well. So that's tip number 2. Just pay attention to your body, honey, because you only got one. Tip number 3. Make investments for your future. One of the things I did when I became a mom was to make sure I invested in my kids' future, whether it's for college, doing a little college savings plan for them, creating a separate, because you know you get retirement stuff from your job, but creating a separate retirement plan outside of that, putting a sickness in place plan. Like they have all these investment things, whether you're investing in Bitcoin, whether you're investing in real estate, whether you're investing in yourself, investing in things that you could benefit from 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years from now that you're not seeing now, but you want to make sure by the time that happens, you have something to support on. You know, um, I know I see a lot of women lately that sometimes they, in their marriages, they depend on their spouses for a lot of things. Make sure you have your own. Because I guarantee you, honey, your man, your husband, your boo, he got his own to the side. Whether or not you're on it, that's between y'all's conversation. But just make sure you are investing in you. Make sure you invest, because I said if you are okay, your kids are going to be okay. Whoever you take care of is going to be okay. Just make sure you are investing, because there's so much out there for you to invest in outside of the typical things that people know about. But whatever it is that you're into, make sure you put something for your future self to appreciate from. Number 4, this is my favorite: travel and explore. Travel and explore. I do 2 trips a year. One trip for myself with no kids, nobody, just me. I'll go with some girls. And then a second trip with my kids. Now you can do more than one, but I always make sure I have a solo mommy trip and a trip with my kids every single year. It baffles me sometimes that I see adults, or I meet adults who have never left their state. How is that possible that you have never left your state? So if you are a traveler like me and love to explore, your 30s is the time to do it. You can do it in your 20s too, but your 30s, like I said, appreciation for things happen in your 30s. So you're going to want to take the opportunities, because you're going to take things in more. You're going to feel it's like more of a gratitude attitude. So when you go out and you venture, you don't have to do all the Instagram pretty places. You can explore and go do community. So like my sister, she went to Kenya and did like a mission trip. If you're into serving and giving others, you can do that. You can go just explore in orphanages. Like even in the United States has 50 states. You don't have to leave the country. Explore other states. I kid you not, for myself, I've probably only been to 4 or 5 states out of the 50. Your girl got some traveling to do this 2025 coming up. I am going to make sure I hit some other states that I haven't been to, just so I can explore. And I feel like when you explore and you see how other people live, you see how the people are, it gives you a sense of awareness for yourself. It gives you a sense of appreciation. So in your 30s, boo, make sure you travel and explore for you. Number 5 and 6 kind of go together, so I'm going to combine them together. 5 says keep your circle small, and 6 says there's a difference between your associates and your friends. I was one of those girls in my 20s. I had everybody and their mom was my friend. If I had your number, if we were in the same circle, oh, that's my friend, that's my friend, that's my friend. But there's a difference, because now that I'm about to be 40, I kid you not, I can probably count 5 or 6 people that I actually call friends. Everybody else are, you can have close associates, you can have close acquaintances, but not everybody in my life right now gets the friend title. I have a lot of, like, for example, in my church community, I have a lot of people that we are associates. We are associating through church. So outside of church, if we're not outside the church, would we have a relationship outside of church, or do we continue a relate? That's the question. Do you continue this relationship outside of that association? The question is, for some, is no. There are very few people that I associate with. So in my work circle, do I associate with you outside of my work? If after we leave work, we don't call, we don't text, we don't hang out, you're not really my friend. You're not. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And as you get older, you're going to realize not everyone's meant to be on your journey. Not everyone, where God may want to take you on your vision, your plan, not everyone's meant to come along. So you are going to lose some friends. Your circle is going to get smaller. And sometimes it's on purpose and sometimes it's by accident. But it's okay for it to be smaller, because sometimes my motto is quality over quantity. I'd rather have 3 quality friends than 30 quantity friends that add no value to my life. Add no value. Sorry, you guys. They're doing some construction upstairs, so that's the hammering. But we're gonna make it through this vlog. We're halfway there. It is okay to run in a small circle, and one of the things I'm going to add to that with a small circle, not everything everyone's meant to know. Like I said, your vision is not meant for everyone to see. Look at Noah. God spoke to Noah, showed him a vision. And when he tried to take everybody along, trying to help them, what happened? They laughed at him. They mocked him. They went on to their own merry lives. And what happened? They didn't go along with him to the promised land where he had to go. They didn't. Same thing with Moses. God gave Moses a vision. He tried to share it with the Israelites after he let them go. They got halfway. Some of them fell off because they weren't seeing the vision. Even though he tried to take them along, they weren't seeing it. And little by little, God will filter people for you if you don't want to do it. He will filter people in a way that you're like, man, I didn't even know when that person fell off. But it's okay, honey. It is okay to have a small circle. It is okay, because you will sometimes realize you find a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing in your circles. And those are people pretending. Like, look at that poor girl. She thought she was going on a trip with her friends, and she died and never came back. That's not the type of friends you want. And just based off of that situation, those people were not her friends. They were probably associates and acquaintances who she thought were friends, but then they showed their real colors at the end of the day. So 5 and 6 again, keep your circle small. And there's a difference between your acquaintances, your associates, and your friends. So if you got a couple of good friends, hang on to them. All right, we are at number 7. Number 7, last and final tip for you to remember in your 30s is to, like I said, know who you are and know what you're worth. Know who you are and what you want. Before anybody can give you anything, you have to know what you want. That's even in a relationship. If you're coming into a relationship not knowing what you want, then that means you're going to accept everything. If you go into a job not knowing what you want and knowing your worth, you're going to accept everything. So knowing your worth is the key, and then also knowing what you want. In any relationship you're in, whether platonic, friendship, work relationship, just being able to set the standards, set the boundaries for what you would allow, what you won't allow. And that will, because if you have to teach others how to treat you. I had to learn that the hard way. You have to treat others. You have to teach others how to treat you. Now, if you teach them and they still choose to treat you the opposite, that's your sign, honey, to go. That's your sign to end that friendship. That's your sign to leave that job. That's your sign. It is time for you to go and find greener pastures somewhere else where you are appreciated, where you're not just tolerated. So those are the 7 things that I learned in my 30s. Some the easy way, some the hard way, some I learned from other people, but I wanted to come and share with you, my fellow beautiful gems, that comment below, those of you who are in your 30s like me or past your 30s, do any of these things resonate with you? Do any of these things stand out? And those of my viewers or watchers who are in their 20s or younger, what are one of these tips that really stood out to you that you're like, you know what, I like that. I'm going to practice that. I'm going to keep that. But actually there's one more. I know I said 7, but there's one thing that I did want to add that I wish I did listen to my parents more. That's basically number 8. My bonus tip. Appreciate the advice of your parents. If you have parental figures or elderly people who give you some really, really good, solid advice, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Let it settle in. And sometimes when they're giving to you, you may not be ready to receive it, but let it be written back there, because when that time comes, it's going to click back and it's going to be like, make sense. Now I know why they said this, or now I know why blah, blah, blah happened. So keep these notes of the elderly, the wise people. And a wise person also learns from the mistakes of others. So if somebody's gone through something and they're giving you advice, why Why do you feel like you have to experience it? Why? Save yourself the drama, save yourself the heartache, and just learn from other people's mistakes too, so that you know better next time too as well. So I'm gonna keep you with this last tip before I end this. I saw an acronym and it says the word shit. I'm sorry if you got little kids listening, but it's spelled S-H-I-T. It's an acronym, S-H-I-T. And S stands for, this is what I want you to remember. These are the things I want you to start practicing, no matter what age or phase you're in. Practice the S-H-I-T acronym. S, practice self-care. You know I'm a fan of that. H, practice happiness. Find your happiness. Create your happiness for yourself. Don't look to anybody to help you get happy. Find your happiness yourself. I, inner peace. The peace that surpasses all understanding. The peace that God can only give you. Because money is only going to give you a little bit of peace. Being in a relationship is only going to give you a little bit of peace. But the peace of God that surpasses all understanding cannot be replaced for nothing. So find inner peace within yourself. And then last but not least, T, time. Time is the one thing you can never give back. So value your time. Value how you spend that time and what you're doing with that time. I heard something today that if you spend time, if you're not using your own time to work on your own dreams, someone's going to hire you to work on theirs. Let that sink in, babies. I'm going to say it to you again. If you don't spend time, your time working on building your dreams, honey, someone's going to hire you to help build theirs. And I'm going to leave it there for that. I'm going to leave it. So happy New Year. Thank you for all who've rocked it with me in 2024. From every vlog to every short, thank you for those who commented. I am so grateful. I'm embracing this next decade that I'm going to be in. I'm going to call it my decade of involvement. Because I have grown. Now I'm going to evolve and turn into that diamond that God wants me to be. That He has made me to be. That daughter of the King that I'm supposed to be. So, but on a brighter note, if you want to support me and give me an early birthday gift, please get a sticker. Just go ahead and comment below, buy a sticker, and put Happy Birthday Nigel Chloe on there. Or I'm going to put in the description box, I have an Amazon wish list. And you can get me something on there. That's if you want to, no pressure. But you know, your girl loves some gifts. But anyways, I love you guys. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, and see you in 2025. Toodles.